Welcome everybody. This is going to go horribly wrong and none of my decisions are going to make any sense. Probably, if yesterday's seed was any indication. But this is going to be my attempt at just kind of showing what's firing off in my brain as I go through one of these goofy seeds for IoGR Randomizer. Now, I'm going to be doing the pre-qualification kind of setup for the seed. So this is going to be a 4-statue, Dark Gaia, completable logic, South Cape start, early Firebird seed. So we're going to start in South Cape. I'm going to go from there and just kind of go over what I'm thinking while I'm in a map and as I'm transitioning through a map, what dark spaces I'm going to be looking at, when I'm going to stop looking at dark spaces, yada yada yada. I'm not going to go too much into speedrun tech as far as like describing how to do it perfectly. I might do it and say what I'm doing, but that's going to be up to someone else to look up a different video to see how to do that and how to get better at that. Which means, Mr. Freet, you're going to have to make a billion videos for every little speedrun tech before the 15th. Alright, Cloud, take care. So yeah, the logic for the pre-qualification seed for this year's tournament, next year's tournament, is normal, which is like your intermediate logic of the 4. Now, if you're a speedrunner, you run on Type 2. If you're not a speedrunner, you play casually, you're probably used to running on Type 1. It's not going to matter. It's whatever you're comfortable with. Like I said, I'm not going to be going into the real meaty parts of the speedrun tech. So I'm not going to be confusing anybody by describing, oh, press this button and this will help you work with that glitch or sequence break or whatever. So you can run on Type 1, Type 2. It's completely up to you. Just all the speedrunners run on Type 2 because you get an extra button for button mashing. And so they're used to those buttons being called out for the speedrun tech. Now, for the actual pre-qualification seed, their combat difficulty is going to be intermediate. Afterwards, whenever people are broken up into those separate brackets for the tournament, they're going to either be on normal or they'll be on intermediate or they'll be on hard. And the hard bracket is going to have a bunch of other different settings for it. I forget what the normal bracket has, but it'll be a little closer to the pre-qualification seed. Oh, yeah. You like making videos, Mr. Freet. You'll be fine. Alright, so I'm going to have a timer going right now. This timer is not going to be indicative, really, of me going at full speed. It's just going to be me talking, maybe stopping to explain some things. We'll see. I haven't really planned all this out. It's early in the morning, bear with me, but we'll see how it goes. And we'll have the auto tracker going, which you have to use for the tournament, too. So, 3, 2, 1, go! Alright, we're going to start right here in the school. You're going to talk to the teacher. You're going to know what statues you need to go and get, and that is going to let you know what you can get rid of. Now, I'm going to assume in this run that if it's a statue you don't need, you're going to throw away anything that's not needed for the other statues. Now, unfortunately, statues 4 and 6 don't require anything for you to have in your inventory, really. So there's nothing that's going to be freeing up inventory space here. I need my Rama statues. I need my hieroglyphs. So I can't throw any of those away. So as you start, you're going to run left out of the school because you want to come up around on the roof of the school and check this dark space and get the item in the bell tower. So I already hate the world. My life is over. I have Psycho Slider. It's great for invincibility movement, but as far as performing glitches, you're pretty much in trouble. Now, some people like to check the jeweler right then and there to see what you need. You can. I usually do. I'm not going to this time. I'm trying something out right now. Because you're going to be doing a sweep of Continent 1 for what you can. And a good chunk of the time, you're going to end up with something on the jeweler that you need for progression. A good chunk of the time. That's not always true, but it's something to think about. So we get Lola's Melody early. Cool. I have a move. I have Lola's Melody. I can do everything in here except for give the necklace to Lily, which we'll come back for that anyway. So I know I have 2 checks and a dark space in here. And then I can leave. So this is a great fast check. This is not normally the case. You're not going to be here normally this early. A good chunk of the time, you're going to be needing red jewels. Oh, wow. Diamond block. To get something from the jeweler to give you some kind of access to a different continent. What is this seed? Okay. So, with having another move right here, this tells me a lot. Is this the dream seed, Mr. Freed? I'm going to run over here. I'm going to check this hint. Elder has a hint. Native village has a hieroglyph, so we'll keep that tucked away in our brain. That's going to be useful. We need hieroglyphs to fight Mummy Queen. So what I know from having these 2 moves, and this happened way sooner than I thought it was going to, but I can talk about that while I'm running back out of here. In completable logic, all dark spaces and towns can only ever have will ability moves. And once you have Psycho Slider and Spin Dash, you don't have to check any more towns. Because Psycho Dash is completely covered by Slider and Spin Dash. Now, the faster way to kill these guys, if you have a move, is Spin Dash, then Slider, and then Psycho Dash. That was just kind of an average Moon Tribe right there. Hey, Turbo, welcome in. Alright, so the order, assuming you don't have Lola's Melody. If you have Lola's Melody in a move, you go to iTor, you do all that. Fine, fine. The order otherwise, I would say, is go to Moon Tribe, get that easy check. Go to Inca, get the Diamond Block chest check, and then leave. And then go to Edwards. And you want to finish at Edwards because if you do everything you can in what people call Sphere 0 or Sphere 1, whatever it is for the first open check of everything, you're going to get sent back to your starting location at Edwards. So you want to finish on Edwards. So I have the Diamond Block right now. I'm going to go ahead and go to Inca. But if I didn't have the Diamond Block, I'd be going to Edwards right now, getting all those checks, and then finishing in... Yeah, going to Edwards, getting all those checks, and then getting back to South Cape to check the jeweler. Now, interestingly enough, if you were going to here just for this check down here, you'd already just be running over here, getting the check, and then death warping. But because I had the Diamond Block, I'm going to place that Diamond Block, and you can see we don't take a lot of damage here in intermediate combat difficulty. So you can just place that Diamond Block, you'll take a hit from that spike, and that'll break you out of the cutscene of the blocks dropping. And so you can get out of that screen earlier to go get the Diamond Block chest. Make sure, because 99.9% of the time, Inca is going to be a multi-visit dungeon. Make sure you kill that statue head to open up a shortcut. Now, if I didn't have an ability move, then I would still only be checking the Diamond Block chest because you need an ability to deal with these statues, whether it's this chest or it's just progressing through the dungeon. But I have a move, so I can keep going through the dungeon right now. So yeah, these statue heads on the right are going to open up the shortcuts back up or back down when you come back here a second or third time. So we're going to run around here. We're going to go ahead and get that out of the way. Now, there is a sequence break here if you don't have Psycho Slider, but I have Psycho Slider. It is possible to kill this statue and break out, but for the rando, you really don't want to do that. Especially in completable logic, because you're going to need this check further down in the dungeon, where you would normally get the vanilla wind melody. Guess the Incan's turbo. I don't know. Alright, so we have Slider. We do need to transform. So you can transform into Shadow or Freedan if you have Shadow already. Either one, it doesn't matter. So we kill that guy to open up that shortcut. And that all happens while we're out here, so that'll already be open when we come back. Now, I'm going to be running all the way to the Golden Tile Room, but before that, I'm not going to be doing anything in the Golden Tile Room because I don't have the Wind Melody. You can, if you don't want to wait for the Wind Melody, let's say... The heck is the seed? Z, welcome in. Thank you for the raid. How'd your seed end up? Do tell. So let's say all you have left to do is get Mystic Statue 1 from Cast Off. Then, if I don't have the Wind Melody, and I have a lot of checks left, it might be worth just to guess which tile. You have to stand on the tiles for 10 seconds. And you can do 1 tile at a time, 2 tiles at a time, or 4 tiles at a time. The 4 tiles need you to be really tight on your location. I don't think 2 tiles at a time is too bad, but at the very least you can do 1 tile at a time. Stand on it for 10 seconds. If you don't hear the alert that the door opened, go to the next tile. And so on. But most of the time you're going to want the Wind Melody. So we're not going to be able to progress any further past that. Now, I'm saying all this because I want to point out the fact that there might be a time where there's a Freedan move. Here's the other statue head. This is the final shortcut to get back down here. There might be a Freedan move in the dark space that I'm coming up to right now. If there is, then you can't transform into Will, which means you need to Death Warp and then come back down to the bottom of here. Hey, Neo. How you doing? Yes, you did, Z, and I'm happy you did. Okay. So, bad scenario, but okay scenario because I couldn't progress anywhere. Oh, that's just like a middle finger to your face. It's actually... I don't know what's faster. Would you Death Warp? Yeah, you stand on the tiles anyway. I don't know the pixel or very tight area for all 4. And it's not something you would normally do, but you can. Alright, so before finishing off at Edward's Prison, I'm going to go to Itoria and drop the necklace off. This is still not knowing what the jeweler has. And I will say, you don't have to skip talking to the jeweler at the beginning. It doesn't hurt to have the information, knowing of what you're going to be working for with your red jewels. So the necklace, you don't have to equip it. Lily will just take it straight out of your inventory. And now we're going to finish on Edward's prison. Now, the only way that this is going to bite me in the butt is if Jeweler has prison key. And I'll have to come back to here again. So while this soldier is walking across here, this is your one and only great chance to talk to this hint soldier. Sam has Inca Statue A. This seed is a nightmare seed. Get strapped in, everybody. Oof. Oof. She does turbo. Don't have to equip it. She'll just take it right out. There's a few items that do that. Haha, turbo. Alright, so you have the yummy roast leg yak into guard hint, into guard no. It's such strange logic you would never have. Normally, you would just go back to this dark space after talking to Hamlet because you wouldn't have the prison key, see if there's a move and get it, and then warp back out. That's what you would normally do in your very first checks. For some reason, and this happens, you have immediate access to finishing the prison. So we're going to go ahead and finish the prison. So that's why I went back to that dark space to check to see if there's a move, because I'm not going to be going back to that dark space again. Unless I die. Not so bad. Oh, better not be. Better not be. It's like I don't even speedrun this game. Alright, so the prison typically is a very multi-visit dungeon. You would go into the jail cell, talk to Hamlet, then warp out. Then you might come back and get to this point, but you don't have Lily yet, and so you can't progress, and so then you just death warp and leave again. And then you finish again once you have Lily. This is a super rare phenomena where I can just complete the stupid thing. Les bat, les troll. So this is completable logic. I know there is never going to be a move here, so I never have to worry about that. And something like chaos logic, there could be a move there, and that would just mean that I don't have to complete the rest of this dungeon. It would just be locked out. Okay, listen. I'm getting really scared. Well, no, it can't be. Because Sam has my Inca statue, so I'm not going to have to complete the first continent just to get out of here. What's up, Sai? Oh my gosh. What a troll is he? Hey, Maya, how you doing? Alright, so everything in Continent 1 is done. Except for the last dark space in Inca. And Kara in her painting. Okay. Alright, so we're finally going to check the jeweler. Let's see what the jeweler has after we give the red jewels. Crystal ball, hieroglyph, teapot. Alright, so the teapot, that's my access off Continent 1. So memory melody of 13, which is awesome. We're going to have open world access really, really soon. And this is a full 50 seats, so I don't need Statue 6, so I don't have to go fight Solid Arm. But I might need something that's in the mansion. There is one check in the mansion. To Moon Tribe. No, this is exactly mimicking the pre-qualification seed. So this is normal logic, normal or intermediate combat difficulty. Alright. So with Moon Tribe, we're starting here. And this brings up the Sky Garden versus Diamond Mine debate. So in my mind, and I'm going to go ahead and leave right now. I don't want to do Sky Garden yet. I'm going to do my free checks first. My Diamond Coast and my Frisia check. What do you do first? Sky Garden or Diamond Mine? I'm going to see what chat thinks first. Alright. That's the reasoning that Z's giving. I forgot that. Oh, forgot about the jeweler, the laborer. So when you come into Frisia, I would say go up, get that from the inn, then go talk to this guy. I gotta get this actual speed run out of my mind. Then go around the secret alley, then come back around and do these checks over here. Alright, so like I said, I have Spin Dash, I have Psycho Slider. I don't have to check this dark space in here. There's only will abilities in towns. There's no Freedan abilities in towns. So I can just leave. Alright, so here is my thinking on this, and people are free to disagree or agree. I have Spin Dash, which means I can do all of the first half of Diamond Mine. I don't need Freedan's Dark Friar to get that one check. I don't have Dark Friar, so I can't do room 2 of Skyguard. Now, Skyguard does have a lot of dark spaces. Diamond Mine has a lot of dark spaces. Right now, it's a 50-50 toss-up. I have Aura Barrier, so Aura Barrier does give me access to the checks in room 4, because you can hit that sword statue with Aura Barrier. For me personally, I'm going to go ahead and check Diamond Mine. I don't have the elevator key, sure, but Diamond Mine is broken up in such a way that access to the second half is just 2 screens away. It's not a huge time sink. So I'm going to go to Diamond Mine. I have no reason to believe that the elevator key is going to be here or in Skyguard. I'm just going to go in here, do all the dark space checks, and then we'll go to Sky Garden. Yeah, Neo, and that's why I'm coming in here. I can do all of these checks just with Will because I have Spin Dash. Oh, yeah. And that's another good point, Neo. I'll give an example in the opposite case, because that will probably come up. If you only have Friar and you don't have an ability move, then you go to Sky Garden, because you can do all of Sky Garden. With Friar. Just a quick heal. There's no move in here right now. And we'll just keep going back. Da-da-da-dum. Woohoo! I gotta stop Psycho Sliding there. I do it every time, just like I did yesterday. Do not Psycho Slide there. So I'm gonna go ahead and charge Spin Dash here. You want to have this already charged, because if you don't, you're going to have to dodge those energy balls from the worms. And it's a nightmare. You should make one of these in French, Neo, to help the French community. Oh my gosh. Sprint, please. And always check this dark space first before the other one, because if you turn in the Friedan in the other one, get wrecked. No, I thought there were more French runners of this game. That's exactly why you check the other one first. What we get. Darn it. Alright. So there wasn't anything of super use in here. Now we do have Earthquaker. So that does get us into the back of Angkor Wat, even if we don't have Dark Friar. If we wanted to do Earthquaker skip. Alright, we're done in here. Quick, easy checks, and we're back out. Now to Sky Garden. So I'm going to guess... Here's another thing to think about that I didn't even think about till just now. My memory melody was at 13 red jewels, and I was almost at 13 red jewels, which means I'm not expecting to find more progression in this dungeon. I'm expecting just to get a few more key items, some more red jewels, maybe an herb or two. I'm assuming the game is expecting me to have the memory melody and just go ham on all over the world access. Bum, ba, bum. Oh, that would be a nightmare. So yeah, that is a possibility. I have the wind melody. It's possible that my Dark Friar is at the end of... Inca. I do have access to that right now. But as far as density of checks are concerned, you wouldn't want to go there yet. Alright, let's see if I can do this real quick. Oop. One more try, and then we'll just spin dash. I haven't practiced this. Alright, one more try. There we go. So you have spin dash, you can just get right up on this. With Psycho Slider, this becomes a whole lot difficult. A whole lot more difficult. Oh no, 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 no. But if you didn't have spin dash, you'd have to pause buffer jump attack up there. Or just get it frame perfect anyway. I'm new to that whole thing free. I didn't get to practice it when Sai and I were looking at that on his stream. Did it without charging? Okay, well, then I just don't know. Alright, so no move here. We're gonna get the last check on the underside. Now, one thing you want to watch out for in Sky Garden. Don't Bagu Me has made the decision not to really mess with the programming of damage values that have just come out of the code. For fire snakes and the swords. So, this fire snake is only doing this little bit of damage. Other ones will do more. The swords will do more. Also, that dark space will never have a free down ability. It will only have a will ability. So I'm not even going to bother checking that. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Now, as I said, without Friar, we can still do the checks in here with Aura Barrier. So we're going to turn in the Freedan now. Get 'em, mods. So yeah, those Aura Barrier shields are enough to reach that statue. Let's clear some stuff. Scary. Now, once you pull that statue onto that switch, that barrier will always be open. So even if you die getting back to here, you can just run back through here as well. Let's go ahead and die. I'm gonna risk that there's no ability move. And if there is an ability move, then get wrecked me. But hopefully it's Dark Friar in this dark space coming up. Alright, so only one check left in this room. We need Freedan. Alright, so what have we learned so far it was good to just make a decision and go. Turns out Diamond Mine or Sky Garden didn't matter either way. Now, of course, this last check might be elevator key or something. And then I'm just going to have my foot in my mouth. But I'll just say, it doesn't look like there was going to be any progression through the world. Oh, I don't have Friar. Oh, such an idiot. Okay. I got completely wrapped up in the story. I don't have Friar. I can't do this room anyway. Duh. Alright, so back to Frisia. And we'll just get the memory melody. Next thing is red jewels and herbs. So I don't care about the jeweler until 50 right now. Well, until 48, and he'll give me my other ones. Okay, so not having Friar there was even a better proof of point of going the Diamond Mine first, because I didn't end up with Friar anyway from either location. Neil's, said it was early in the morning. And now we have access to the whole world, and we have to, well, access to everything except for Watermia. We need to think about where we're going to go to next, and here's what I'm thinking. Babel Tower, when you go to Babel Tower, unless you plan on doing the boss rush, which we don't have to do here, the only reason we would do a boss rush is to get the extra HP at the end. Babel Tower will just send you back to your starting location. So I'd rather just get that out of the way now. So I'm going to go to Babel Tower. But I'm planning ahead here. Okay, I'm doing Babel Tower. I'm going back to my starting location. What can I do there? I can check that last dark space in Inca. I wasn't going to make a special trip from Continent 2 just to go back to do that. Alright, so awful checks here. No ability. This could have an ability move here, for sure. But I'm going to go ahead and head back to Inca just to check that dark space. That was an early access dark space. So it's not awful to think, okay, I might have a move there. And I had these shortcuts, so this is a super quick check. But also, to be fair, with open world access, we have a lot of dungeons that we can get to right now. Also, let's have some fun. Place your bets, people. $10 Steam gift card to whoever gets this golden tile right. Place your bets, people. Row and column. Row 1 through 6, column 1 through 12. $10 Steam gift card. Let's get your bets. Sai and Cloud have the same. Oh, Cloud's changing. Never mind. Okay. Misu, the golden tile is randomized. There are 6 rows, 12 columns. Which tile is it? Place your bet. If you get it exactly right, you win a $10 Steam gift card. The bets end on Misu's guess. Unless Misu doesn't want to guess. Which is okay, I'm just bleeding time right now. Alright. Queenie saying 2-9. Alright, I'm gonna close it off in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Another, huh? It's okay, Misu. Another time, another time. Alright, bets are closed. Let's see what we got. The winner. 3-1. Okay, so when I say that next time, Misu, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Choose one of those, and then column 1 through 12. Ah, close, Amalas, close. Alright, so let's check this dark space. That's why we came here. This trolley seed. So yeah, when you're playing through here, have in your mind, what did I get early access to? Because more often than not, especially in normal logic, the game wants to give you a will ability and Dark Friar early on. Alright, so if you come into this room, your checkpoint gets set. So it's faster just to return to your starting location than just death warping out of there. Alright, no problem, Misu. I don't have a problem describing that. Alright, back to Continent 2, back to Sky Garden so we can finish Sky Garden. Oh, sorry, Queenie. Hope you feel better. Interesting how she was here for the giveaway and then leaves again. So yeah, technically we could have finished Sky Garden in the first time around if we had gone back to Inca. But at that time, it didn't feel like it made sense. Can someone remind me where the heck I got the wind melody? I don't even remember where I got that. Ah, Misu changed her color. Ow, my face. Wind melody in prison? Okay. Alright, so this is the jerk you need to watch. See how much damage he just did to me there? He did 3 HP's worth of damage. Some of these fire snakes are not programmed the way that others are, so you need to kind of pay attention to what does what kind of damage. Alright. Now we have access to Euro or Dao. Let's look at our inventory. What do I have? I have 3 hieroglyphs. One Rama statue, 1 statue of hope, 1 mushroom drop. Where would you guys go first? To Euro or Dao? Sai would go to Dao. Because you can backtrack. Dao backtrack. Yep. Oh, trust in me too, Cloud. Of course, you would go to Dao here. Because yes, that's exactly right. You can backtrack from Dao to Natives Village to Euro. They're all connected that way. I don't have the large roast, so I can't go from Euro to Dal, but I can go from Dal to Euro. Plus, I also have 3 hieroglyphs. As you go through this game, a lot of times you're going to have a full inventory to where you're going to have to decide, I got to get rid of some herbs. And people don't always want to get rid of herbs. These later dungeons, they hit hard, especially if you haven't killed a boss yet. So if you can free up inventory space, there's nothing wrong with going to a place you can do that quickly. And the pyramid, I can drop off these 3 hieroglyphs. So we're going to go to Dao. Des, thank you so much for the gift sub to Cloud. You generous, generous man, you. So actually, Sai, I don't know. Bagu might have put it, he might have changed it so that you don't need an ability move to deal with those orbs. I forget where that conversation led. I know originally you needed Spin Dash or Psycho Slider to deal with those orbs, but I think he's changed it since then to where you don't need an ability to have Top of Pyramid unlocked. We'll have to double check with that. Alright, so this guy, he'll give you 2 things, let you know. Well, I can figure out where the heck Carrie is now, but she's in prison, so I don't even need that. So we can just get rid of that. He'll give you 2 items. If you talk to him again, he'll take you back to Natives Village. Also, I have Friar, I have Spin Dash, I have Psycho Slider. No more Dark Spaces for the rest of the run. We're done checking Dark Spaces. Now, that was a town one, so that wasn't going to have a free damn move anyway. So, let's just check the 1 check in the pyramid we can do right now. And I'm just going to randomly put these in here. We can fix it later. And now, something you want to do. There's 2 rooms in this game, at least off the top of my head I can think of, to where it might be worth wasting the time to kill enemies on the screen. Now, if you're the kind of person that likes to kill enemies just for the upgrades so you have an easier time going forward at the beginning of the game, go for it. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you're going for speed and you're trying to evade enemies, you can press start and you can see in the top left if there's a force or not. If that force box isn't there, then there's no upgrade on that screen, which a lot of people know. You already know that. Okay, cool. In expert difficulty or expert combat logic, there's only 1 force upgrade for every 2 dungeons. In intermediate, you've got a lot more. There's only 2 enemies on this screen, so it is 100% worth killing these 2 enemies if there's a force upgrade. You should just spin dash them since I have spin dash. And we get an extra defense upgrade. Very useful for the rest of the run. Yep, I started off with that, Sai. Alright, so we got a red jewel from Gaia. I was saying in the beginning of the run that as soon as we see what statues we need, we know in our heads what we can get rid of. So like Mystic Statue 3 and 5, if they're not required, we can get rid of all the Rama statues and all the hieroglyphs. Alright, so we're gonna go back to Natives. We're gonna go in reverse to Natives Village. And we got 1 simple check in here. We don't have the Gorgon Flower, so we can't talk to the statue ladies. And we don't have to check the dark space, but there's a dark space back there. Don't forget to check that. If you don't have the moves you need yet. And we'll go to Euro first, because those are all free, easy checks. If you're perfect, you can get in front of that guy from the start. But I was just a little off and it kicked me out of that line. You can see me get kicked out. Right. So yeah, when you first get into here, you're gonna make a big circle. If you have the apple, you're gonna go up to talk to Anne, sure. But your first time in here, you're gonna make a big circle. Do the line, talk to the apple vendor, the alley, and then you'll come up here. Secret house. And then you'll finish up in here. So we're getting a lot of red jewels. Please don't make me have a 50 red jewel seed. Ba-bum. Da, 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 da. Okay, so my inventory's full. There's not really a good place right now. So it would be faster probably to empty them out of your inventory, but if you don't want to go through all that hassle, just go talk to the jeweler. It's not that much of a time loss. And then exit. Okay. Question for chat again. Understanding this time it's a rhetorical question. I have an answer in my own mind. I just want to see, I want to get input from chat. What would you do now? Would you go to Cress or Anchor Wat? Aw. Alright, Lily, get your sleep on. I hope you're able to get a great rest. Sai says Trolley Cress. Because we know he's being trolly. Neo says Anchor. Amla says Anchor. Mr. Free also answering Trolley. Well, the awesome people who aren't trying to troll are saying Anchor Wat. Yes, you go to Anchor Wat. We can full clear Anchor Wat. We can't full clear Crest. We only have one mushroom drop. So we're going to go to Anchor Wat first with hopes that we get more mushroom drops and we can go to Mount Temple. Right now, what we're looking for is either Aura or the Will, because that'll give me access to do Pyramid, or that'll give me access to Watermia and that whole subcontinent. Now, I shouldn't forget, and I'm leaving this in the back of my mind only because I don't have the Purification Stone. I've had access to Seaside Palace for a long, long time. You can go there. Seaside Palace is just a nightmare because a lot of the time you're going to get there without Lily and without the Purification Stone. So there's a semi-feasible probability that you're going to have to go into Seaside Palace 3 times. I don't like to do that. I have all my ability moves. I'm not hurting for stuff to do right now. So I'm going to leave Seaside Palace for later. And we'll see if that pays off or not. Okay, we're going to start with Anchor Wat. And we'll just, we'll go through the dungeon. I already have 1 strength upgrade. I don't really know what that does in intermediate for these wall bugs. Ah, well, there you go. Paid off not going to Seaside already. So right now we have access to every section of the game with Ola's Letter. Oh. Alright, for this wall bug, you can just stand right here. And those worms will never touch you. Never have to take damage from that wall bug. Just don't be right up against the wall because Will's block won't reach that orb that gets shot at you if you're all the way up there. Now, if you want to charge here for Spin Dash, you can. When you touch the chest, cancel this text box with your, well, If you're type 2, A. If you're not type 2, then you can't really do this. But you just cancel this text box with A and you'll keep your charge. Type 2 gives us A, which doesn't do anything, but acts as another input. Now, this shortcut bug, it's up to you what you want to do. If you don't have Earthquaker or Dark Friar, I would kill this bug first, because you might just end up warping. Anchor Wat's a really mean dungeon for the randomizer because it sets a bunch of different checkpoints, so death warping to the beginning really isn't an option. As soon as I exit this screen, my checkpoint is now set to the garden. If you don't have Dark Friar or Earthquaker, I would just go ahead and kill this bug first in case you Dark Space warp out of here, and then you can just come back up and not have to worry about it. But we're gonna full clear this dungeon right now. Uh-oh, Freet. Now, I am going to do a little bit of sequence break here. I suggest to the people that are going to be running the tournament, you learn the Bright Room. It's not too much of a learn to wander in the brightness. Going for hints, yes or no? I've talked to some hints. I don't actually know where all the hints are, but the ones that are right in front of your face, I've talked to some of them. Damn. A defense upgrade is helping. Okay. If you don't have Dark Friar or Earthquaker, you still have access to the Dark Space on the right. You can hit that with Shadow's arm if you have Shadow unlocked. If you have Dark Friar, then if you didn't have a will ability move, you still go over there and unlock it with Dark Friar. But we have all our moves, so we're just going to go ahead to the left here. So you can Earthquaker skip with Dark Friar if you want to learn that, or you have Earthquaker and you just Earthquaker. If you have a question about how to do Earthquaker skip, I would just suggest going to speedrun.com and looking at any of the any % no wrong warp speedruns at this point in the game, and you'll be able to see how to use Dark Friar to get out of this. Now, there are variations depending on how many upgrades you have for Dark Friar, but for that, I just suggest checking yourself how to get a reliable setup for killing that enemy without being blocked. Okay. So what I did there, I think it saves a little bit of time. Set your checkpoint on this screen and then run back and get that item so that when you death warp, you're just right back here. I think that's a little faster than going up to get the item and then coming back here to set your checkpoint, then coming back in to death warp to the checkpoint. So we have one check outside here. Okay. Now, if you don't have a lot of HP, this can be a little scary because you're kind of trapped in the corner a little bit. But I'll tell you this. You can get this item in here without even a swinging or attacking. But if you attack this bush, then you have to get rid of the bush because then this doesn't work anymore. So if you just hold up against the bush and press B, you'll get the item. If you're not close enough, you'll end up attacking, and then you can't press up against the bush because as soon as you attack that bush, it gets an active hitbox and you'll take damage from it. And if you don't have a lot of HP, you might just end up dying. So yeah, just go up and press up against the bush, then press B to get the item, and then you can just leave. Alright, so for here, you should be able to get to this section before the room gets bright. Now you can see both these two purple heads come through here. So you know that this is the hallway you want to walk. Now this room is just blocked right here by a slider. Which is somewhere. There it is. Now, here, to get into this room, you're just going to run against the wall on the bottom, sprint left and up, and then you'll start walking. As soon as you start walking, you know you're in the staircase, and you just hold up into the staircase. Now, there is another item on the drop-down chest, but we're going to get that on the way back. So we call this a forgotten chest. Spin dash around and get this. If you're on type 2, again, you can keep your charge by just pressing A. That way you can just have an easy spin dash again through here. Alright. And we know Kara's not here, but if Kara was here, she'd be right here. We're going to talk to the spirit, and we're going to get an herb. So, but after you get the item from the spirit also acts as a hint. And has purity stone. Okay. Good to know. Which means I need an apple to get the purity stone. Now we're not going to die like you would in like a normal speed run. We're going to go ahead and run back down through here. Now the room goes bright again, but you should have plenty of time to get to this hole to get this item. And we get a red jewel. So it's up to you how you want to proceed. If you're not comfortable getting out of the garden, but it's going to try anyway. You can just go back up a room, fall down the hole on the right side, and there's a dark space in there. And you use that dark space to warp you back to South Cape, and then make your way back through here. Or back through the continents to Angkor Wat. You know what? That's what I'm going to do. I didn't get any mushroom drops at all in Angkor Wat. Hey, welcome back, Rowan. But we did get Lola's letter. So, I'm going to have a lot more checks to deal with than just the 2 in Mount Crest right now. The 3 in Mount Crest right now. So you're just going to run straight down here. And you warp back to South Cape. So we're going to go ahead and go to the Continent 3. Oh, excuse me. Oh, we got a lot of stuff we can do. Helps if you use the item. And yeah, Mr. Freet is a beast and can do that without the item buffers. He can put a lot of Firebirds on the screen. There's the will. Okay, that's an interesting place for that to be. Now, I come to Lance's house first because there's a time wait for the lily pad. Mushroom drops. Also, if you need to check a dark space, there's a dark space in there. Yeah, so this lily pad is on a timer from when you come out of the screen or into Watermere for the first time. So you want to do what you can on this screen while you're waiting for that lily pad. Okay. Red jewel. I mean, I did that just to get the wheel out of your inventory. The wheel is another thing that you can not have to equip, and it'll just get taken out of your inventory whenever you use it with one of those two guys. The one there in Watermere or the one in Euro. Alright, well, we can do all the checks in Great Wall. We're going to go ahead and do that, and then we'll head to Angel Village. What you want to prioritize are dungeons that you can full clear first over ones that you can just do a couple checks. That's why I'm not going to Mount Crest yet, even though I was there. Now, if you have Spin Dash already, when you come into Great Wall, it's actually faster if you can die pretty quickly to die after you get that item. You get the item, you die, and then you just Spin Dash across the top. Alright. 2 more items in this room. We're still missing a fair amount for go mode. It's gonna be a long seed. Alright, so that's a red jewel. So last item is the right here, this chest. Now, if you need statue 4, you continue on. If you still have to check for ability moves, you continue on. There are 3 dark spaces if you continue on in this dungeon. If you also need some extra health and you're not really comfortable going through the later game dungeons without a lot of health, go fight Sandfanger. It's the very first thing you probably have access to if you have Spin Dash and Dark Friar. You can go get that extra health, and that might help you with the later dungeons in the game. But right now, I'm just going to Death Warp out of here. I did all the checks in here. There's nothing else I really need to do. Oh my gosh, Sai. I got it. No, I appreciate you saying that just in case I didn't say it. It's Angel Village. Now, Angel Village is a nice little hub. So we can go check out Mew, and if we had the Mew Palace key, we could go check out Seaside Palace from that direction. But we're going to go ahead and see what we can get here. Okay. So, we're at a point of conflict. Also, dark space right in here if you need to check for ability move. Look at my inventory. I have nothing but key items and herbs. So this is where people might lose time or gain time. I don't have Father's Journal, so I can't put the hieroglyphs in the correct order unless I'm super, super lucky. And plus, I don't have Aura, so I don't want to go fight Mummy Queen. I'm not going to go out of my way to dump 2 hieroglyphs in there just to have in that location. You can't put all 3 because it'll just spit them back out at you, and it's a nightmare. I actually don't know what happens if you have a full inventory and it tries to put all those hieroglyphs back in your inventory. Never tried that. So people will lose time going to drop off items and then coming back to what they want to do. Or if you're comfortable, just get rid of some herbs. It's really just on your comfort level. Let me just remove some. I mean, you can tell for these dungeons I'm in right now, I'm only taking 2 HP worth of damage at max. So it's not awful. Plus, this dungeon has a lot of possibility. Oh my gosh, I'm bad. Has a lot of possibility for HP drops in case you get hit. So this dungeon isn't super scary on intermediate combat difficulty. Now, if you're not familiar with the speed run, what you want to do is, for these dragon heads, and I'll go through this just because this is helpful in case you don't want to like take a bunch of damage. For these dragon heads, when you're running to the right, you could be on a position and just slide and not have to worry about having to fight them over a long period of time. So for this first one, I'm going to press up against the wall while I'm running to the right after this wall, and that'll put me in line to kill this right here. Instantly like that. And then I don't have to worry about fighting it. Same here. I'm going to press up against the lowest wall. And then it's dead. Now, sometimes you might think that when you're running right here, that it'll just automatically put you onto this spot. But that's not true. There are rare instances where it pushes you a sub-pixel maybe too low, and then you'll miss that dragon head. So you want to make sure you tap up while you're sprinting right here to make sure you're in line there. It doesn't let you? Okay, free. Thanks for letting me know. For the hieroglyphs. Now for this one's a little more tricky. You can just fight these how you want. This one's a little more tricky, so it's a little harder to get right. When you're running to the right here, the dragon heads don't have a hitbox until they actually start moving. So what you're going to try to do is press up into the first dragon's body and then slide. And that should kill the one on the far right and do 1 slide's worth of damage on the first one. And then you can finish this one off however you want to. That's more or less the fastest way to deal with that. Alright, just like I said for the pyramid, you want to check to see if there's a force in this room. There's only 2 enemies. There's a force. Kill these enemies. It's not a big time loss, and with not having killed any bosses still, we'll use whatever we can get. Strength upgrade. Awesome. Can definitely use that. Now when you're going through here, you're just going to want to slide until you're right at the end here, and then just run up through here. Now, I took some damage. If we're scared, come up a little bit and kill those statue heads. Unlucky I didn't get any health drops, but there's a good chance from those statues that you'll get a health drop. Okay. We know Kara's not in here, but Kara would be in this painting like she is in Vanilla if she was here. There's a check right here. Crystal ball. Cool. One more, we can fight Viper. And now the randomized puzzles. And I'm going to cheat and use my stream. Yeah, I should show the hint here. You're right. Inca statue. Okay, there's one Inca statue. We know the other Inca statue is on Sam, so we just need one more mine key and the elevator key, and we're good to go. Now, if you're used to the speed run and you accidentally walk out of this room without picking up the chest, go back, talk to Ishtar, it resets the puzzle, and then you can just come back in here and do this. Now, There's an angel blocking your way every time you don't have a puzzle completed. But this angel gives you a hint. Thank you, Neo, for pointing that out. Edward's tunnel has a crystal ball. Duh, we already know that. Thank you, Neo, for wasting my time. It's good to check that hint. That's a nice, easy, quick hint to check. So, I wasn't paying attention to the other room, but I'm just going to assume since Inca Statue A was the only chest, or was the item in the other chest, then it's not going to be the same here. There's our aura. Alright, cool. Alright, people, we have a decision to make. What do we have left in the game? We have Seaside, we have Mew, we have Pyramid. What would you do now? Bunch of people saying Seaside. Lily, you're supposed to be sleeping. Okay, so this is going to be where casual versus speedrunner change. So me personally, I can full clear the pyramid. So I would go to pyramid. Now we could take the we could take the teapot and go to Seaside that way from Sky Garden. But yeah, what Omlis is saying, until we have the apple, Seaside is a risk. So Seaside to me is a little out of the way. Mew is right here. We can't full clear Mew, but we are already here. Now, you might be saying, well, you were already at Cress in there. Why didn't you go to Cress? And that's fair. But as far as density of checks, the first part of Mew has the highest density of checks compared to Pyramid. So I'm actually going to do the first little bit of Mew checks right now. Plus, I know a lot of people aren't going to want to go to Pyramid on this little bit of life. So we get a check here. You guys can deal with those enemies however you want to. It is a pain, it is a pain. But for people who want to get... Oh, excuse me. Faster and faster times. It's not really about good movement tech when you're pushing for a really fast time. I should have dropped that Statue of Hope off first. Oofa. It's about not dying. And so my advice is to really get good at utilizing Spin Dash when you have it. And so I'm doing this, but my inventory is kind of full right now anyway. I wouldn't even dare go to Seaside right now just because I don't want to drop any more herbs for just in case reasons. I'm going to the pyramid now, so you do want to have some herbs with you. Especially on intermediate, you get a full 8 HP worth of heal, which is awesome. Not used to seeing that. Ow, no text box. Duh. And so, oh, that's slow to die. Never mind. Actually, yeah, I am going to die still. So if you... This is also a very big what-if situation. If you still need ability moves, then you wouldn't die right there. You'd go the normal route through Mew. Check the 2 dark spaces. And be done. But we don't have to check the dark spaces in here. So I'm just going to do this one last check. Which is a pain to check, but we're here. Might as well check it. All the way around here. And then we'll death warp out and we'll go to the pyramid. Where am I going? It's like I've never played this game before. Now, I could do 500 seeds and still not make... That was almost really, really awesome. And still not be able to make a video describing every what-if situation. Hang on. New palace key. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. You can't make me do it. I'm coming here. So, Mew Palace Key is interesting. If you're in Seaside Palace and you go up here, you need the key. If you're on the other side, like this, you still need the key, but you don't have to equip the key. You have to equip it from the other side, but from this side, you don't have to equip it. You can just exit through here. No, I'm not going to do... I'm going to come here, get this chest, and nope out. Am I? I'm here. Might as well. It brought me here. The only reason I'm doing this is because it brought me here. There's no other reason. And I'm just going to chance that the one check isn't something I need. Coming to Seaside Palace 3 times sucks. 2 times, whatever. You're gonna double dip in some dungeons anyway. Plus, the one good thing is I can just death warp because I'm not gonna be doing the purification stone. So it's not like I'm running all the way back through here. Oh, let's hope not, Sai. Alright, so we're gonna get this item. There's also a hint in this coffin right here. Okay, so we can go fight Viper if we want some extra HP. Edward's Tunnel is Wind Melody. We knew that. And one final check. And we'll just death warp off these drippers. Okay, so point of difference here for people. We have access to Viper. We can get all the HP upgrades. But it's going to stick us back into Seaside Palace. Or do we go to Pyramid? And I'll say... it's completely up to you. But because we already have Lola's Melody, I'm going to go ahead and fight Viper. It's intermediate. You get more upgrades than just a health upgrade like you do in Expert Combat Logic. Where am I at? I can't talk and think at the same time. No, we're not going to Niels. I'm going to go ahead and fight Viper. Get that out of the way. Get all our upgrades. And that should help us a little more with Pyramid. Because I know you people hate Pyramid. Plus it gets a crystal ball out of our inventory anyway. Da-da-da. Okay, so if you know the speedrun fight, this fight's not too bad. You have Slider, it's not as easy to deal with. Like right now, which is... Pyramid is fun, but when you're in a race for a tournament, you don't want to die. Especially in Pyramid when you need Shadow for rooms 3 and 5. Turning back into Shadow is time consuming. So that quick and easy fight, and we're already exactly back where we would have been when we're trying to get to the Pyramid. Alright, so we have Neo unlocked. That's my only other way I can get to Dal, so we're going to come up here, talk to Neo, get back to Dal, go to the Pyramid. Bum, bum. We're starting Southgate. This is exactly what the tournament pre-qualification seed is, minus the actual seed. Now, I do need a little bit more inventory space. I'm going to chance maybe we get Father's Journal in here, and so I don't have to worry about it. But so Pyramid order, you're going to turn into Shadow, and you're going to sink down on this right side. Yeah, so for those who are just joining now, this is South Cape start location, completable logic. Early Firebird, 4 statues, Dark Gaia. Normal, logic difficulty, intermediate, combat difficulty. Alright, so you sink down from that right side, you get that item, then you come in to do room 5. So there's only 2 rooms that you really need Shadow for. And there's 2 items in room 5. One item sends you back to the top of the pyramid. The other one, you can death warp or you can go back to the top of the pyramid. It's up to you. But what's really scary about pyramid is the damage you take. And to mitigate that damage, you have Will and Spin Dash. Or you have Shadow and Aura Glitch. And it's important that you people learn Aura Glitch, because it'll save you most of the time from damage that you would take when you're sinking through the ground. Plus, it helps you kill enemies faster if you absolutely have to kill something. So Aura Glitch is just hitting B and then Y, sinking the ground. But you have to hit Y again if you're on type 2. It's whatever your R button is. You can do this on type 1 too. I don't know what the buttons are for this, but you just do a quick attack into Aura. And you saw Shadow didn't really get all of his attack animation out. So his full attack animation is that arm swinging all the way out. Like that. But if you press B into Y, what that does is it stores the attack and uses that attack constantly. And so I'm going to sink down here. I might be a little too far right. Yeah, I'm too far right. But I would be doing constant damage to that orb if I sunk on that orb. Or I'd be hitting the bird soldier and hopefully knocking the bird soldier out of the way. A and B instead of B and Y. Okay, so you would use A and B instead of B and Y if you're on type 1. Z, we gotta get you on type 2. Alright, so you want to get this item first. And then you want to warp back to the top. Now, listen to me. This is the most important logic step in the game. The Killer 6 is one check. And it is a massive time sink. Okay? Massive time sink. This is going to be the only thing that I actually recommend. Most other things is just something you can do. It's your own choice. Some of the time, it's not too much of a time difference. Killer 6 is a massive time sink. And if you do not have a lot of HP, I'm going to recommend this even more. Do not do Killer 6 in room 3. Unless you have to. There's a good chance that it's just going to be a red jewel or an herb or something or whatever. Especially on the easier logic difficulties. If you absolutely want to, and you have low HP, I would recommend using Freedan and his Dark Friar over having Shadow, unless you have early Firebird unlocked. But for this video, myself right now, I'm not touching Killer 6. At all. I'm not going to do room 3 and go all the way to the bottom. And for those of you who aren't familiar with the speedrun terminology, Killer 6 refers to the pack of 6 laser orbs at the bottom of room 3, which is enough to wreck anybody's day. So we did room 5, we got that one item. We're going to sink back down and do room 5 again, but get the other item. And then we're just going to death warp and do all the other rooms with Will. And we're going to save room 3 for way later in the run. Unless you get a hint. If you get a hint saying Killer 6 has something you need, then you gotta do that. And it's up to you when you want to do that anyway. So we're aura glitching here. That bird soldier was not behaving. So we took damage anyway just because he wasn't really with us when we aura glitched onto him. And the aura glitch for that bird soldier, you might not hit him. Like, we didn't hit him for damage, but we did hit him. He had invincibility frames up. I just couldn't get away. Okay. I don't know if this is common knowledge to people, but I'm going to show this here. When you have low HP and you're not super comfortable with the pyramid, you're going to be killing stuff, and there's rooms where there's a lot of these mummies, and these spirits pop up, and they make you freak out. I was once a freak out person, but let me shed the light for you. You can just block, and these spirits instantly die. I should have aura glitched here, but I didn't aura glitch here. Alright, these guys you can iframe dash through if you want, or just power through if you have enough HP for it. And then we're just gonna death warp. If you're done with Shadow, you're just gonna death warp out of every room. It's faster than using that blue pool to get back to the top and then having to sink back down. Alright, so now we're going to go in reverse order of the room. 6, 4, 3, 2, 1. And in almost all these rooms, we're going to use Spin Dash to get through. If you don't have Spin Dash, and you're in the bottom of the pyramid, then you can still do room 6 and 2. Why reverse? Just because we're closer there. When you come out of room 5, you're already at that side. Also, a little bit of a speed tech here. If you're lined up perfectly with these doors where the mummies are, you won't actually take damage if you sprint up through them. Like that. So you don't have to do a slide or spin dash through it. You can just run through them. Plus, yeah, it is a speedrun route, but it's a speedrun route because we're already on this side. The speedrun has you do, at least for all bosses, which this is following as far as pickup order, 5 item, 3 hieroglyph, 5 hieroglyph, and then 6, 4, 3, 2, 1 for the rest of the items and hieroglyphs. Yeah, so like I said, you can do rooms 2 and 6 without spin dash, but 1 and 4 need spin dash. So you can spin dash through those orbs, or you can kind of do that running manipulation through them. That's Freet's beautiful strat. Okay, now, so, room 4 is a giant pain for people, and I understand that. If you don't know the speedrun for it, it's a nightmare because of the spikes in this room. But I'm going to show this, and hopefully this is something you can refer to as far as where to do what you want to do. So, as soon as you get in this room, start charging for a spin dash. What you're going to do is you're going to run past this, and then just spin dash to the right. And that's all you have to do for this room. You won't get hit from anything else. Now you're going to come down here, you're going to get this chest. And then you're going to be ready for this room. Now this room is a little more difficult as far as speedrun tech. It's a little tighter for when you want to get your spin dash. So ideally, you start your charge, you run down the coming ramp, come up to the top of it, and then spin dash to the right. And I'm going to do that, but it's a little tight. I might already be too late. Okay, so yeah. You spin dash right there, go to the right, and then you're going to stop at the point where I'm going to stop here. But if you're not comfortable with that, you can wait a cycle and then do it. Now you want to stop here, on this ramp right here. There's nothing on this ramp, nothing's going to hit you unless you stand up here. But you're going to stand on this bottom row of tiles on this ramp. And then you're done. You don't have enough momentum to make it up all the way from one spin dash, so you want to stop there and not take any damage. And there's mine key B, so that's awesome. So that means we can go fight Castoth, and we can go get Kara. And then you're just going to Death Warp out of here. Oh, yeah. 3 as will does need spin dashes too, as well. Thank you, Neo. Yeah, still no elevator key. So we just have the one check as will here. Hope statue. So that's good. One more Rama statue and we can go fight the vampires. So Pyramid has had a lot of stuff. Alright, room 2. You can do this as Shadow or Will. It's up to you. It's a little faster with Will. Because we have these breakable floor tunnels, whatever you want to call them. Ow. Ow again. Now, if you can take the damage, then you don't have to worry about killing everything here. You just hold left when you drop down here. Should have knocked me left, but didn't. I don't know why. And then just come down again. You'll break through. Ritual. Ah, that's right. That's why you said I couldn't. Yeah, so you want to be on the left side when you drop down there and hold left, and it'll knock you to the left. We don't have the elevator key, so we can't actually go fight Castoff because we don't have access to Sam yet. Well, wowie. The pyramid is emptying my inventory of herbs. Now, let's say you're a little not on the same order for the rooms. Like, you have all the moves, you have spin dash and everything, but you don't do the rooms in the same order that I'm doing. That's fine. I'm doing room 1 last, which means I'm going to warp out of it. Your last spin dash going down is right here. You go get this item. Your father's journal. Okay, so we can go fight Mummy Queen right now. Let's say you did room 1 first. You don't have to warp out. You can just spin dash back up here. And then death warp, and that'll take you to the beginning of the room. But this is our last room. So we're gonna actually go fight Mummy Queen right now. Now, you might not be comfortable fighting Mummy Queen right now. I don't know how much defense you would have at this point. But at least if you know the speedrun strats, you know how to kind of deal with her. Actually, I wonder if this de-equips. So you don't have to have the Father's Journal equipped to talk to this guy. He'll just take it for you. Now, when you talk to him, he'll show you what the correct placement is. Your auto tracker should also show that for you. So I can just look at the auto tracker. Here's Mummy Queen. Alright. Mummy Queen. See where she starts, if she comes down or not. She does. Cool. Hit her and start on the left side. You're going to run to the left and you're going to aura. And you're going to start on the left side because you want to be in a good cycle for whenever she starts her second phase. So this is all you're going to do. You're going to run left and right. As soon as you hit her, you run to the other side. Run past the spirit. Or just start all the way on the right side. It's up to you. You should have time, excuse me, to aura. So we can start here. Now, if you start over here, you might get clipped by that kind of spirit right there. So that's why I recommend you go past the spirit that's on that side and then aura to delay a little more time. Alright, so this next hit, she's going to start doing her next cycle. Ooh, missed. So she's either going to do the ring or she's going to do an Earthquaker. And then if you want to swag, you have Aura Glitch, you can use it at your disposal. So really, when she's doing the ring cycle, you want to like hit her from above and then walk down, kind of shimmy a little bit to avoid an energy ball if she shoots it your way. Okay, so Mummy Queen was hogging all the upgrades. Alright, so now what are we going to do? We have a few more items as access. I actually need to go into my inventory to see what the heck we have. We don't have the elevator key, so we can't go get the other Inca statue. We have the Gorgon flower, so we go to Natives Village. We have the magic dust, so we can go rescue Kara if we want. We have 2 mushroom drops. We have the apple, so we get the purification stone. So what I would suggest here, because we haven't had the other Statue of Hope, and the 2 Statues of Hope open up 3 more checks. I'm going to go in reverse again to Native's Village. I'm going to turn in the Gorgon Flower. Crystal Ring. And we're going to go turn in the apple to get the Purification Stone. The apple you also do not need to have equipped. You can just talk to Anne and she'll take it from you. Well, we'll get it once we save Kara. We have to save Kara first. Yeah, for early Firebird, you have to have the Crystal Ring, the Aura, and you have to have rescued Kara. Where am I going? I'm going to Waterman. And let's go ahead and see what's in Mew. At this point in the game, you really only just have double dips into dungeons. I mean, I haven't gone into Crest yet, and I could with 2 mushroom drops. There is a lot you can check. It's just the these checks in Mew are a little easier and quicker. And then after Mew, I will go down to Seaside and turn in the Purification Stone since I'm already here anyway. And it's weird, the tracker didn't... I picked up the black glasses, didn't I, at some point? Do we know where Kara is? Yeah, Kara's at the back of prison. So we can do that at any point. I was trying to hold off on that until I actually have to go back to Continent 1. Fire upgrade. So worried about the vampires. I mean, you have dark space access, right? It's possible it's trolly and the dark space before the vampires has a will ability. There's my elevator key. Okay. So I know what I'm doing now. It was the right call to come here. Yeah, these checks are super close to each other. The checks and crests are relatively spaced out. So density-wise, it makes more sense to come here. And just turn this into a triple dip. Ow. Alright, so we got the 3 checks. We're gonna Death Warp out of here. Might as well finish Seaside since we're going to be right here. You don't have to if you don't want to make that call. You could just go down to the dark space down here and warp back to Continent 1. But I'm going to go ahead and just do this. Just poor Freed. So really all we're missing right now is Rama statue. Actually, no. You know what? I'll say this now. All we're missing right now is Rama Statue 2 for Go Mode. So I'm going to say this is a bad decision to go here right now because it's just 1 check. We have Mount Cress. We have the back half of Diamond Mine. Those all have more checks. I don't think I would normally come here first with this long out-of-the-way check. And if this does turn out to be a Rama statue, then it's just luck, basically. Probability-wise, you shouldn't come here for this 1 check like this. And we get... an error. Okay. I would have been surprised if that was a Rama statue. Alright, let's go handle cast off. That'll force us to... Wow. No. Let's go back to Water Mia. We'll go that way. We have to go to Diamond Mine first to go get the other Inca statue. So we'll go back to Water Mia, which will take us to Diamond Coast because we have Lola's letter. And then we'll just go to Diamond Mine that way. I think that's a little faster than warping back to South Cape, then to Moon Tribe. Plus this will free up a little more inventory space. Alright, so we have 3 more checks here. One of which we know is Inca statue. Now you have to have the elevator key equipped. But you do not have to have the other 2 keys equipped. They'll just get used automatically. Oh, really, Sliver? Sorry. Were you nice to them? And actually, we're gonna do this in a little different order. We're gonna get this first so that I can just die in the right room to death warp out of here. No. Sorry, Slithu. Black glasses. I didn't have the black glasses yet. Okay. Oh, intermediate death warping. So slow. Seems harsh. What are we doing? Inca. Okay. So, since we have to go rescue Kara anyway, let's do that first. We're going to be finishing on Mew for a dark space, and we can just go straight to Seaside after that fight to warp to Dark Gaia. So I'd rather do Kara's rescue first, get early Firebird because of that, and not have to go find a dark space if I left her for last. No, I didn't, but I can talk about that. So, you saw before I could see if a room had a Force Jewel, which is useful information. Like we saw, okay, I'll kill these 2 enemies for this defense upgrade, and I'll kill these 2 enemies for a strength upgrade. Cool. But I didn't know what upgrade I was getting. And it might be that you have a ton of HP, and you don't really need any more HP. I don't know why you would say no to a defense upgrade or a strength upgrade, but if you have the black glasses, aside from letting you see in the Bright Room in Angkor Wat, they also tell you what kind of Force Jewel you're going to get. So here, I know because I have the black glasses equipped, I'll get +1 strength if I kill all the enemies in this room. Which is useful to know, for sure. Not everybody's going to want to just skip everything when they're running through a seed. Almost done. Now, I don't really remember how Bagu had this programmed. So let's find out together. Nope, okay, so you have to have Magic Dust equipped here and use it. So Kara's rescued, we have Aura, we already used the Crystal Ring. We have Firebird unlocked now. So let's go fight Cast Off. We already have these shortcuts, so it's a nice, easy jump through all that. Please open those shortcuts. Please open them. It'll save you so much time. And it's difficult, and it'll get you. But you want to retain information about what happened in the seed so long ago. So I know Friar... Oh, that's super messed up. Now, like I said, it'll get you. Oh, that's super messed up. So, unfortunately, this is one of those rare instances where both Dark Spaces at the end of Inca have ability moves. In case you forgot, we had another Freedan move in here. Okay, I forgot about the one with the chest. I forgot I got a move from there. So, we gotta fight Cast Off as Will. Unless I went all the way back to the first Dark Space in the dungeon. But that's way too long. So here we go. Physically impossible. It's physically possible to 2-cycle with Will, but we'll be looking for a 3-cycle. Now, I really shouldn't mess around too much. I should show what you're supposed to do. Alright, so you're gonna run to a corner when he starts doing this attack. Oh gosh. I thought I could hit him from up there. Why did I think that? Hey, what's up, Verts? How you doing? Well, who called that one? You wretched chat. Ah, that's right, Verts. Congrats again on that. I'm sure there are boxes everywhere right now. Alright, everybody. There is but one thing left. Oh, yeah, I completely forgot about that. That's why I didn't feel so tired today, because I had that built in. Ah, okay. What do we have left? We have one Rama statue we have left to get. And what is that? That is a check-in mansion, a check at Killer 6, or Mount Cress. We have way more checks at Cress than either of those other two, so we're going to go there. But here's kind of where we're looking. I have access to 1, 2, 3, 4 checks in Cress. I have 2 herbs, 1 red jewel, a Rama statue, and a couple other things left to get. Oh, I didn't even do my own thing. We know the jeweler has 2 red jewels left for us. But you would, for certain, come to Cress before you would go check out Killer 6 or go to the mansion. Oh. That's not what you want to see. So, getting that red jewel there means that Killer 6 doesn't have a red jewel. They could still have one of the 2 herbs that are left. They could have a shroom drop for sure. But probability-wise, we're just gonna hope that we're gonna end up with a Rama statue out of all of this. Now, it's something that you need to just know as probability. If you're doing 4 statues, completable logic, most of the time, it's going to be a 100% completed seed. Oh, I'm sorry, X and Teth. Yeah, I mean, it is really just probability. I actually don't know if Bagu favors against Killer 6 in different logic difficulties. Yeah, we have 2 more checks. And then after this, I will go to the mansion to do that check, because that's faster than checking Killer 6. And then, if need be, we'll finish on Killer 6. So yeah, there's 2 ways that the Killer 6 ends us. We either get the Rama statue there, or it's a shroom drop to get the Rama statue here. He does. But it's not without reason. No warping in the randomizers, so don't even think about it. A lot of people forget this. There's a dark space. All the way you can see in the bottom right there. That dark space. There's a dark space in here. So don't forget to check that if you end up here when you're doing your own randomizer seed that doesn't have a South Cape start. Or just if you don't have a move you want yet. What the heck? Did I already pick up the 2 red jewel gift from the jeweler? Hey, what's up, Raylight? How you doing? And Dragon Tier, welcome in. Solar Sea confused. I did pick that up. Oh. Well then, this just turned into an awful seed. The 2 red jewels was 21. Okay. Alright, well, you still would go to Crest there. Crest should have had a Rama statue, probability-wise. It did not. Which means there's only 2 checks left in the game. There is... Well, there's 3 checks left in the game, sorry. We've got Mansion, we've got Killer 6, we have the End of Crest. I can't get to the Mansion, because I don't have another red jewel. You also don't need the large roast equipped there, you can just talk to him, if you have it. And I don't have a mushroom drop, so I can't do Crest, which means... Killer 6 has an important item. Which is unfortunate. It's super unfortunate, but I 100% still stand by my logic. Save the Killer 6 for last, especially if you're not comfortable going through that room. It is a giant time sink, and more often than not, it's not going to pay off. So let's see, let's check size logic. Killer 6 has red jewel, Mansion has shroom drop, Crest has Rama. It could be that. Or Killer 6 has mushroom drop, Crest has red jewel, Mansion has Rama. We're only down to those 2 scenarios right now. Now, obviously, if you have early Firebird, go crazy. Aura glitch here. Now, that was unfortunate just because the timing ended on the Aura glitch. That Bird Soldier will get you sometimes. Or Killer 6 has Rama. If Killer 6 has Rama, then this is a broken seed because this is completable logic. Which means I have to be able to get to the End of Crest and into the Mansion. And if Killer 6 has Rama, then I can't do that. Welcome back, Queenie. How you feeling? What's up, Queenie? Let's have some fun. Oh, I can't. No. No. Let's have some fun. Oh, it's Firebirds. Sure. We can definitely do that at the end of this. Okay, so you saw how easy it was for Firebird to handle all that. Even if you're not a speedrunner, you can just kind of waltz in there if you have enough HP and just start spamming Firebird. The same kind of idea for Dark Friar. That's why if you're not comfortable going through this room, bring Freedan. It's a little slower, but it is safer. Okay, so we're going to the Mansion. We got that red jewel. Typically not something you'd have to worry about if you had less than 50 red jewels for the Mansion requirement. We just happen to get 50 for this. Anything else today? Nope. I'm going to be leaving shortly to go visit family, and then I'll be back Tuesday. I had forgot that we got math to do with baby brother on... Oh, wrong one. Tomorrow. Now, Mansion is psycho in its own way. You can use the lag to your advantage. I think I just triple dashed, yeah. but we don't need to survive the whole stinking thing. We just need to get to the chest. Bum, bum, bum. Da, 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 da. So that had to be mushroom drops because I had to have access to Euro. So this was actually a 100% completion seed. Yes. So we'll go get this final Rama statue. We'll go fight the vampires. And then go beat the game. So at the very least, this was good to show all the item locations in the game. I didn't go into all the dark spaces just because I got my moves really early. But there's a lot of information out there for people that don't know every location of everything in the game. There's Queen Anne B's picture readme for all the item locations and what the items do. There's the written readme. There's also, there'll be this video, and then there'll be the in-game map tracker, which I'll show off right before we go fight Dark Gaia. Sorry, read chat. Oh, Bagu definitely loves a 50 jewel required mansion. Well, what do you know? A Rama statue. What were the odds? Okay, so let's talk about time here. Now, obviously I was moving slow, I was describing a lot of things, staying still for a while, trying to talk about probabilities and whatnot. I would say this was, logic-wise, pain in the butt because we had to actually do all 100% checks. Where am I going? We gotta fight. So I would say I probably would have finished the seed right at the 2 hour mark, the 1:55 to 2 hour mark. Yeah. But that's having like a speedrunning knowledge and everything. For what I've said earlier today to people, for the expectation for this race is just you'll be mixed in with most of the people if you can get a time semi-consistently under 3 hours for this seed. Or for whatever seed for the tournament. So I would just really suggest going for that as a goal time. Sub 3 hours. Now, obviously, you're free to fight vampires however you want to. Having Firebird is nice for Shadow. Also, having aura for shadow is super useful here. But you do whatever the heck you want to do. Obviously, you would take shadow into there and aura the heck out of them and be fine. With aura glitch, that fight is super, super easy. No. Exanteth, don't let me fighting them as will be any indication of what you should do. I'm going to say that clear right now. If you have shadow, you have aura. And so what you're going to do is fight them with shadow. That was just me being goofy right there. So we can fight Dark Gaia, but I just want to go ahead and show off the in-game map tracker for those who don't know about it. It's right next to Lola's house. Is this nifty little house, which has a map tracker. And so you can run around all over the world and figure out what you've missed. So if you just walk into a place, Nada's Village, I know there's a total of 2 items you can get there. I've collected 2 items, and there's 1 dark space you can check. And you can use this for everything. Now, I know everything's been collected because everything's maxed out on my tracker aside from the Psycho Dash. Now, it's not going to tell you which dark spaces you haven't checked. It's just going to tell you the number of dark spaces. So this is super, super useful if you're having a roadblock in your mind of what haven't I gone to yet. And then if you just want to leave, run off the screen. Very, very helpful for new people that start playing this randomizer. Speaking of new people, that was a mistake to run out of there. So, okay, let's go fight Dark Gaia. Save the game first, just in case. And here we go. Oh, I definitely mentioned that earlier, Exanteth. Sandfanger, you get Spin Dash and Dark Friar, and that's all you need to get access to Sandfanger. So Sandfanger is the, most of the time, first boss you have access to. And most of the time, you're going to the Great Wall, still checking dark spaces for abilities anyway. So there's absolutely nothing wrong fighting Sandfanger for some extra boost. It's intermediate combat difficulty, so you're going to get a lot of boosts, and that's extremely helpful for things like Anchor Watt and the Pyramid. But it's completely up to you. It is still a time loss to do that, compared to other people that might skip it. But if you're not comfortable, then you're going to lose more time dying in Pyramid and Anchor Watt than you would just from fighting Sandfanger. So, yeah, I definitely recommend it if you're not comfortable doing late game dungeons with a low amount of HP. Now, I mean, I got relatively lucky, I guess. I didn't have any unintentional deaths in this run, so it paid off not going after Sandfanger. But we also didn't have to go to the Pyramid until much later in the run. If it was right at the start, I would have had a more rough time in Pyramid, and I might have had some deaths in there. Yeah. On the higher difficulties, you for sure go after Fanger. Ow. Okay, can't block when you're in the middle of a attack animation. Now, as far as fighting Dark Gaia, at this point, having fought 4 bosses, what you're going to want to do is just attack and then aura right before the mouth laser hits you. You can just be stupid and risky, like I was just like that, but you could see I could take some hits and still be perfectly fine. So, Dark Gaia herself is not awful as a final boss. I know the hard bracket in the tournament is going to have Apocalypse Gaia at the end. So for those of you who are worried about being in the top half of people that are going to be placed in the hard bracket, you're going to have to at least try Apocalypse Gaia at some point. The logic is also going to be a little more difficult in the hard bracket. But like I said earlier, I don't really remember what the normal bracket is for the tournament. Yeah, Neo, it's like, it's hard, advanced, chaos logic, Apocalypse Gaia. Pulling out a lot of stops for the hard bracket. But yeah, there you go. Like I said, me actually going full bore and not really trying to stop and explain stuff, that would have been about a 155 to 2 flat seed. And even for people who are super new to the game, I could see that being like a 315. Not if you're like, if you just started, that was your first seed, sure, 4, 5, 6 hours, whatever. If you played a few, I could see that being like a 315 just because of what ended up having to happen with Killer 6. And also, I never checked all the hints. There might have been a hint for Killer 6, because Killer 6 has their own hint. I didn't check Kara's diary in Watermia, and I'm sure there were a couple more I didn't check that I don't even know about. Well, I would say get some feedback, Queenie, on what people would want for that, because Z3 is something that's a whole different ball game compared to how you normally run the speed run. But yeah, okay, so I hope that was helpful to people that are just kind of trying to get into the randomizer, whether it be for just playing in general or if it's for the tournament that's coming up in January. But yeah, I hope that was helpful. If you have any questions, there's the IoGR Discord, and people would love to help out, which you're probably already in that if you're watching this video anyway. You already know the website to generate a ROM, not to generate a seed for this game. But yeah, please jump in the Discord, ask questions. There are no stupid questions in the Discord. Ask me questions on stream. Ask Psy990, Queen Anne B, Neo Metamoon, anybody else who runs this game. Z was in here. Ask away. We'll be happy to answer any questions you have.